Are you looking to increase your rate of fat loss, but you're not sure how to add activity? In this video, I'm going to break down whether you should be adding lifting or cardio and how to implement it so that you can achieve your best physique goals and your best rate of weight loss. A prerequisite to this conversation is that we're going to assume you have a moderately high step count for baseline health. This is somewhere between 6 to 10K, depending on your activity level. One of the things that we know pretty clearly from the literature is that resistance training specifically is best for physique outcomes, and it is at most equal with cardiovascular intervention for weight loss. So in terms of losing body fat, it's the same as cardio, but in terms of improving your overall physique, it is significantly better than cardio. So with that alone, that kind of begs the question, should you even be considering cardio until you've maxed out your resistance training? And I would argue probably not. Each local musculature, meaning like a bicep or a quadricep, has the ability to recover from a certain amount of sets in any given week. On top of that, your total body is able to recover from a certain amount of total systemic sets per week. So my quads might be able to handle 50 sets per week, but my total body might only be able to recover from 100. That's called systemic recovery. And if you're not maxing out systemic recovery and doing all the lifting that you could be doing, you're likely not getting the best physique outcomes that you could be, and you likely should consider doing that before you start adding cardio. Why do I say that? We know that lifting is great for increasing muscle mass, and it burns the same amount of calories as cardio over a long period of time. So it's for sure not worse than fat burning, but you're getting the added benefit of building muscle. There are some cons to this approach though. Some of the cons include lifting weights is freaking hard. Sometimes you can overshoot it and do a little bit too much lifting and you can get kind of beat up from it, and you run the risk of getting some potential overuse injuries. So when you go about adding resistance training to your programming, I recommend doing it gradually so you can see if you're able to recover from it. And if you're able to recover from it, you're in a good spot. Next week, add a little bit more, and kind of experiment with it that way. What you don't want to do is add 10 sets out of nowhere and wonder why you have to walk funny for a week and people think that you need to use a special elevator to get up your stairs to go to the bathroom. This isn't to say that adding direct cardio or increasing your steps is necessarily wrong. Just know that adding that activity is A, not building you muscle when you could be using that energy to build muscle, but B, using more of a mechanism that's at worst catabolic, but at best neutral on muscle gain. Meaning muscle gain is on this side of the equation. Your body has to do some certain things with protein pathways, and cardiovascular work is on this side of the equation, the opposite side of the coin. And you kind of can't serve two masters. You can't be your biggest and strongest ever and also run an ultra marathon, right? Endurance qualities and strength and hypertrophy qualities are on opposite sides of the equation. Luckily, this only really matters if you are extremely large, extremely endurant, or looking for extreme goals in either side of these two things. And that doesn't apply to most people. So don't be afraid to add cardio, but just know it does come with a slight trade-off, and that trade-off is you could be potentially lifting more if you haven't maxed that out. And if you do too much of it, there could be a little bit of an interference effect, though it's likely not going to affect a majority of us. So my general recommendation is add sets week to week to week, add days of resistance training, train new muscle groups, really try to maximize your systemic ability to recover and get the most amount of resistance training that you possibly can before you start doing anything superlative with cardiovascular work and extra steps. Hopefully that helps, and go forth and be jacked.